Good morning. Today we are going to discuss about metacarpophalangeal joints, concavo-convex roll, osteokinematics, orthokinematics. Let's talk about metacarpophalangeal joint concave and convex rule. Here the concave part is proximal pharyngeal and convex part is metacarpal. When we flexion, the head of the metacarpal bone moves superiorly and proximal pharyngeal moves slightly downward and the rome is 90. When we extension, the head of the metacarpal moves inferiorly and proximal pharyngeal moves slightly upward and rome is 20. Now abduction and adduction of the joint. When we abduct, the convex head goes medially and concave mean pharyngeal bone goes laterally, and when we adduct, the head goes laterally and concave part goes medially, and here we have only limited motion, which is about 20. The metacarpophalangeal MCP joints of the fingers are relatively large. Overt articulations formed between the convex heads of the metacarpals and the shallow concave proximal surfaces of the proximal phalanges. Motion at the MCP joint occurs predominantly in two planes. Number 1. Flexion and extension in the sagittal plane. And number 2. Abduction and adduction in the frontal plane. Mechanical stability at the MCP joint is critical to the overall biomechanics of the hand. MCP joints serve as keystones that support the mobile arches of the hand. In the healthy hand, stability at the MCP joints is achieved by an elaborate set of interconnecting connective tissues. Embedded within the capsule of each MCP joint are a pair of radial and ulnar collateral ligaments and one palmar plate. Each collateral ligament has its proximal attachment on the posterior tubercle of the metacarpal head. Crossing the MCP joint in ankleic palmar direction, the ligament forms two distinct parts. The more dorsal cord part of the ligament is thick and strong, attaching distally to the palmar aspect of the proximal end of the phalanx. The accessory part consists of fan-shaped fibers which attach distally along the edge of the palmar plate.
Anatomy of proximal interphalangeal joint. Proximal interphalangeal joints are a synovial hinge joint that span between the proximal, middle, and distal phalange of the hand. Distal to the MCP joints are the proximal and distal interphalangeal joints of the fingers. Each joint allows one degree of freedom, flexion, and extension. The proximal interphalangeal joints are formed by the articulation between the heads of the proximal phalanges and the bases of middle phalanges. The articulation of the joint appears as a tongue-in groove articulation similar to that used in carpentry to the joint planks of wood. The head of the proximal phalange has two rounded condyles separated by a shallow central groove. The opposing surface of the middle phalange has two shallow concave facets separated by a central ridge. The tongue-in groove articulation helps guide the motion of flexion and extension as it restricts axial rotation. Each PIP joint is surrounded by a capsule that is reinforced by a radial and ulnar collateral ligament. Hello everyone, my name is Surupam and I am going to discuss about the kinematics of proximal interphalangeal joint. So basically proximal interphalangeal joint has two moments, the flexion and the extension. The flexion ranges from 0 to 120 degree and the extension has 0 degree. Now the osteokinematics of the proximal interphalangeal joint. Both of these movements occur in frontal plane and anterior posterior axis. Now the orthokinematics of the proximal interphalangeal joint. The flexion has medial roll and slide, and the extension has lateral roll and slide. Here the concave surface is stable and convex surface is moving. Thank you. That's all.
Hello everyone, my name is Sanjeev Burman. Now I am discuss about kinematics interphalangeal joint, osteokinematics, orthokinematic and range of motion. As you know that these joints nears to keep off from its called interphalangeal joint and it concave and convex, whereas the base of the hip is concave and hip of the middle phalangeal is convex. The range of motion of the sagittal plane is flexion and extension. Flexion from 0 to 45 degree and extension from 0 to 10 degree. During flexion, the head of the concave slides inferiorly downward and during extension is slides superiorly upward as the moment of the convex surface lies in the same direction. Thank you.